We're here at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Can somebody do me a favor and pin the StreamYard link into the YouTube chat?
I've got it.
Thank you, sir. If you want to come up on the stream, just simply click on that link and we will bring you.
I can't pin it, but I can put it to your. Yeah. You
can't pin it?
No, I think only you can. Only the owner can pin something, I think.
Okay, well, let me give that a shot. I first need to go over to YouTube. And when I go over to YouTube, I have this nasty habit of not muting myself, and then we get this reverb.
Yep, the doubles.
Hot mess going. Let me see here. My video. Oh, come on. This is not fair. It's just simply not fair. I just...
Rand can do it.
I think I got it now. There we go. All right. And where did it go? There you are. There we are. Let's see. Pin message. Bada bing. Thank you. There we go. Got it. All right. So if you want to come up on the live stream, go ahead and click on that StreamYard link and you can come on up. And okay, now I'm seeing myself here. I don't like doing that. There. Okay, good. All right. So thank you for coming, everybody. Everybody coming into the chat. Thank you for coming. It's good to see you. I'm sorry I was out last week. I had baseball duty. I had to go not play. You don't want to watch me play baseball. I went and watched baseball. And that's it. You know, that this retirement gig, this grandpa gig, being the papa is just, it's just, I mean, the biggest stress that I have is getting to the game on time. Because once you get to the game, all you got to do is just sit down and you watch. And, you know, I enjoy watching, you know, I just love watching the grandkids play. It's just a good gig. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Hezbollah, because Hezbollah has been in the news quite a bit lately. And I was when I was writing the show up today, I'm thinking, you know, sometimes guys, we've all had a bad day. I'm sure everybody here on the show, you know, at some point in time, you are going to have a bad day. And then at other times, you just might have a bad week. Like teaching sometimes, you know, just well, I do Paul or other people who are I mean, even in other jobs, you just have a terrible week. Whether it's, you know, somebody's been acting up, or you have a deadline that you have to make in order to get grades in, or you got to grade like 150 papers and get the, you know, and it's just, and then sometimes you just have a terrible month where you just have back to back weeks and things just have been piling up. Hezbollah has been having a terrible month and a half. I mean, 2 months, at least 2 months. Now think about what this terrorist, this officially designated terrorist organization has done over the years. I mean, they have rained nothing but havoc to their neighbor to the south. Do they bother anybody else in the Middle East? Not that I know. Maybe you guys know of something else that they do. But this is a Shia organization, meaning that they are beholden to the mullahs in Iran, and they basically do what they're told. These guys have over 100,000 different rockets, or at least did, at their disposal. And they can shoot them off at any time, which is kind of a scary thing because you could actually overwhelm the Iron Dome with these things. But these guys, it started October 8th last year, just as soon as the Hamas started going into Israel. They crossed that fence, started shooting rockets in. Hezbollah said, hey, that's a great idea. Let's get involved in this. And so they start raining rockets down on northern Israel. And this has forced, I believe, does anybody know what the number is of Israeli residents that have been forced from their homes, that are not back in their homes? I've heard it's as high as 100,000. It's currently 60,000, but But I mean, if you would think about that just for a minute, would we tolerate, let's say you lived in El Paso, Texas, and some army group, let's say a group in Mexico decided that they want to take Texas back because they thought it was pretty unfair that, we annexed Texas and made it part of the United States. That's not a good idea. And they want it back. And so in order to get it back, they decide to start waging some type of jihad of some sort on the United States to get it back. And they start raining down, let's say, a dozen missiles on El Paso. Do you think we would just allow that to happen? Of course not. How about 100? They start shooting 100 missiles into El Paso. Would we tolerate that? No. And it gets to the point where they keep shooting missiles off in El Paso that people in El Paso have to evacuate El Paso and move up onto, I don't know, Dallas or Houston or whatever. And the people in Dallas and Houston have to come up in these hotels because they don't have any other place to put them up. Would we tolerate?
Hold on a second, Eric. Under the Harris-Biden administration or the Harris-A. Walz administration, I wouldn't be so sure if we would retaliate if Mexico started firing missiles across our border. I think we just tell them don't do that, and then we'd surrender and apologize for our white racism, and we would surrender parts of the Rio Grande in Southern California, Arizona, New Mexico.
I wouldn't want to deal with Texas doing that one.
Oh no, we would definitely fire on no. The Harris-Biden administration has proven they will fire on Texas. Okay?
They'll be dead. They'll be dead.
Well, I'm just using this as a hypothetical, and I don't want to argue hypotheticals. What would Biden Harris do versus Trump Vance? Or I kind of want to leave politics out of it tonight, which is last time we had the show. You guys, I just gave you like a half an inch of politics, and you guys just ripped it out of my hands and just went running with it. And I was just like, okay, I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to go have some dinner and come back. You guys are still out for you guys were live for like a month after that. I didn't get my channel back. That's why.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve, I muted you, brother. We had some background noise from you. But the hypothetical is we would not tolerate, and Israel should not be forced to tolerate it either. And so what they have done is they have taken some action. And it started back in July. If you look at what happened in July when they killed those kids on that soccer field, and Israel was like, look, you can shoot missiles, into our country, and, you might want to hit this house here, and you might hurt some old codger. They're going to kill an old man like me. Nobody's going to say a lot. They're going to say, well, he was old. We don't have to pay his retirement anymore. Too bad. So sad. But you start killing kids, and you have to start cleaning that hot mess up on live TV off of a soccer field. Yeah, that's gonna get people's gander up, and people are gonna come after you. And Israel did that first guy. Who was the guy? What was the name of the guy they killed? The first Fuad Shukr. Am I pronouncing that right? Fuad
Shukr, I think it is.
Fuad.
Steve.
Okay, so they killed this guy. Now keep in mind, this guy that they killed, we had been looking for this guy for 40 years. 40 years. Why 40 years, you might ask? Well, let me tell you. This guy was one of the primary movers and shakers of our Marine barracks bombing in 1983. And I remember that. I remember that event very vividly because at that time in 1983, I was in basic training at Fort McClellan, Alabama. And the drill sergeants came out and told us, gentlemen, we're at war. And I'm thinking, this is not good because I'm in the Army and the United States is at war, which means that
I picked the wrong time to join this organization.
Hey, I didn't plan to go to war. I just wanted to be an MP, and I wanted to get some college money. Now, give me a break. Come on. And they spelled it out for us. I remember they took us into this secret room. It wasn't even, I didn't even know the room was there, but it was this huge room, and they brought the entire company in this room, and they just sat us down and they started talking to us like human beings. It's like the first time they talked to us like human beings since we'd been there. And this is October, so this is probably right at the end of basic training. It had to be, but anyway, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, this guy that they killed within a matter of hours, we had been looking for supposedly for 40 years, because it has been 40. It'll be 41 years next month that this happened. That, and if you think about that type of source intelligence, how much intelligence you have to have in order to pinpoint exactly where this thug was, because this guy was in charge of the Hezbollah army he was, I don't know, some sort of commander, special forces commander, whatever it is. I could care less. The man is dead as a hammer right now, and he deserved it, because you start killing kids like that, this is what happens. So Hezbollah had a bad day. That was probably the first instance of them having a bad day because of their messing around with Israel along that northern border. Now, keep in mind, the reason why Israel is pushing back on Hezbollah right now, because of that northern border, there is a river that runs through southern Lebanon called the Litani River. And the Litani River, I'm not sure how far. Somebody check that. Maybe Steve knows off the top of his head. How far is that Litani River from the Israeli border? Is it like 20 miles or something? Do you guys know off the top of your head? Anybody want to tell me?
Might have to unmute Steve for him to respond.
Steve, you trying to respond? Dude, there's a button there that's got a microphone on it. I can't unmute you. You're muted yourself.
I was like frozen to me. Oh, Steve's moving now.
Okay, maybe somebody put it in chat. Oh, there he is. Steve's okay. You're unmuted now, Steve.
Yeah. I don't know, but
oh, you don't know? Oh, I thought you knew. Sorry. I think it's like 20 miles. And the reason why this is important is because there is a UN resolution that required the Hezbollahizanas, or whatever you want to call them, to move to the north side of the Litani River. And if they're going to operate in Lebanon, they're like, okay, fine, you're going to take over the country, ruin the country, destroy the country. That's your business. But you stay on the north side of that river. And so you have like a buffer zone between Lebanon and Israel. Well, Hezbollah is not operating that way. They're sticking all these missiles and launchers in people's living rooms, for crying out loud, and shooting missiles out of people's homes south of the Litani River. So
Come on, Eric, be honest. If you could have a rocket launcher in your living room, you'd have one. I know I would have one. I'm just saying, personal preference. Go ahead.
Well, I might have one there, but I'm not going to shoot it off while it's in the living room. But
this is true. But go ahead.
But here, this is even more important. If I was targeted for having it in my living room, I have nothing to complain about. I have no. I mean, if they decide to blow up my house because I just happen to have a missile aimed at Israel sitting in my living room, I don't have a right to complain. I have now made this the Kafir Castle here, the cavernous cave, part of a legitimate target. And this is what many of these people south of the Litani River have done. They're purposely hiding these missiles in people's homes. But I digress. But what Israel is doing now is they are pushing into Lebanon to push all of those Hezbollah operatives north of Litani River is what they're doing. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So when they killed this Fuad Shukr guy, that was the first step. The next thing that we saw was the killing of Hania, the Ismail Hania. That was August 4th. Now, he's not part of Hezbollah. I get that. But think about that operation just for a second. Here you have and Israel, has Israel admitted this, the killing of Hania? Have they admitted? I don't think they've admitted this, have they? I don't think they have. But they went into. Go ahead.
Well, no. So here's the thing. So this operation, okay. Now you mentioned the first guy that was killed. We've been supposedly looking at for 41 years. They've known where this guy was for the past 41 years, on and off. Okay. It just wasn't. I mean, they got so. In other words, you develop your intelligence organization, and this is the thing that got us in trouble with 9/11. The intelligence, the CIA that was tracking Osama bin Laden and Al Qaeda, they didn't want to act on their intelligence because that would expose their network. Okay, they were waiting for something else where they could react, and then because their network is going to be totally destroyed because they're going to expose it if they attack Al Qaeda and get rid of all the leadership and everything like that, then it's going to be exposed. This has been, like you said, starting 41 years in the making, at least 15 years with the pager thing. Okay. In other words, Israel has totally and completely blown their total intelligence network on Hezbollah for this mission. They're all in it to win it, dude. I mean, they don't care. They have burned assets. They burn people on the ground. I mean, I'm sure they probably got some of them out. But I would seriously hate to be the procurement agent for Hamas's electronic equipment right now, because I guarantee you.
Wait! I actually have that person right now. Can you share my screen? This is the new Hezbollah recruiter.
I'll plug it in.
Electronics.
Now the circuit is hot and the voltages on this voltage.
Oh my God! Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Please join me for the first time to hear how it sounds. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, this is wild. You can see how far. Quite wide. Let me measure it for you.
All right, there's worse. Yeah, that's the new guy for Hezbollah.
I mean, if you would think about the morale of these Hezbollah soldiers.
By the way,
about
this
now,
thing that kills me. All of this stuff that I'm sharing today is by Arabs.
Arabs have made this.
Arabs made this stuff.
That's the thing. No, that's the thing, because the Sunnis and the Shia, they hate it. And I'm sorry. The Sunnis and the Christian Arabs, especially in Lebanon, they hate Hezbollah. They despise Hezbollah. Okay, so they are perfectly happy with what they're doing there.
Yeah, this is. I don't know. This is. Let me see here. Let me go ahead and present this.
I love that guy.
This. I just. I could watch this all day.
People have been
ow, hold on. Let's do it again. Ow, hold on. Let's get it. Ow. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, then we got to share. I got to share a couple more. Oh my gosh. All right. So this is from memory.org.
Okay.
There's Nasrallah, by the way. He isn't dead. He wasn't dead then, but he blew his butt open with his phone. All right. Now, this is from memory. And some of this stuff is just funny. I'm sorry. That's their new communication device.
That's hilarious.
This is a Syrian Kurdish cartoonist, and he did this. They're all scared of their walkie-talkies, and they're waiting for them to blow up. How about that one? I like that one. I got you. I'd run. They're gonna blow up. And then there is this. Oh, the best one. Best one's down here. Oh wait, this is their new Hezbollah march. It's a crippled army. I couldn't get that one when I was looking for it, but this one takes the cake. Now Osama read it out. It's just the same as what it says here. The number you are trying to reach exploded a few minutes ago. Please do not try to call again.
Back, right?
He had a hard time reading it without laughing.
I would choose the cow. I would choose the cow. I would choose the cow.
Yeah, do not go with Hezbollah yet.
Here we go. Here's another one. And these are all by Arabs.
Allah?
Okay. And this is just, I mean, but all you got to do to find these things, you go to X and you type in pagers and Hezbollah, and that's what I just did. And you'll find a whole bunch of things by Muslims and Arabs. I haven't figured out what that was. It says Hezbollah members crawling towards Mausoleum of Hussein, the grandson of Muhammad, in Karbala, Iraq. No wonder Israel was able to humiliate and trick them into buying those pagers so easily. They are not very bright.
Yeah, dude, no, I'm seriously, Tim, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
The Sunnis, they really hate them, dude. That's why, that's why when Netanyahu, that's why Netanyahu, when he was giving the speech at the UN, okay, he held up the blessings and the cursings. He went to the Bible and he said, this is the blessings. And he listed all the Sunni nations. These are the ones that are working with Israel. These are the blessings. Here is the ones that are cursing in Yemen and Iran and Syria and Lebanon. Okay. All right. But yeah, so let me get back to this if you don't mind, Eric. I want to talk about the operation. Do you want to go there, or did you have something else?
No, go ahead. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this.
All right. So here's what this is according to Open Source Intelligence. Okay, Twitter account. He's really good. Okay, at what he does, and a bunch of other sources that I monitor. Okay, Israel. Dude, I wish I was at my computer. I could give this to you. I can give you all this information. Israel opened up this company in like 2015 in Germany. This was an electronic company. It was a front. It was a Mossad front.
The pager company.
The pager, well, not just pagers, walkie-talkies, all kinds of other things.
It's the company that sold the pagers to the Hezbollah.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, not just the pagers, but the walkie-talkies and car stereos. No, this was an elaborate thing. No, they blew up. No, the second attack was the most. Actually, I think the second. Well, I'll get to it. Okay. So they set up this company like 2013 or 2015. Okay, they get some licenses. Okay, from this dude. They played this company in Taiwan, so they get the license to manufacture these 1999 pagers. They're basically Motorola pagers, but Motorola doesn't make the pager anymore, so they sold the license to this Taiwan company. And this Taiwan company said, "Okay, fine. You want to make our pagers? We'll sell you this license." Nobody is making these pagers, okay? Right? Okay. Anyway, okay. So they get these pagers and they're just waiting. Like I said,
Rad, hold on just a second. Does anybody here or in chat? I forgot. Oh, my goodness, I got all these comments in chat. Sorry. Does anybody here or in chat know of somebody that still uses the pager? Have you? I mean, I haven't seen one.
Nobody.
The last, it was 1997 or 98 was the last.
No,
even before that,
was
the last time.
I have a picture of the replacement for the pagers. That's right on the screen. If you share my screen.
No. So medical doctors and hospitals and nurses stuff. Yes, they do have a pager, but not this pager. This is the 1999 or 1998 Motorola pager. No, they do have a pager that's only limited to the hospital. Okay, when the doctors are on call in the hospital, when they're like the, what do you call it, the ER doctors, okay, right, where they're basically working 24 hours a day and they're taking a nap or doing something with the nurses. But no, seriously, they carry a pager around, but it's only limited to their network. It's on their Wi-Fi. It's not you got to dial a number. It's on the computer. Okay, this is not that pager. So whenever the Hezbollah's apologists say, doctors carry around these pagers. Okay, no, they don't carry around that pager, but they still carry around a pager. Think of like when you go to a restaurant, like I don't know, what's a restaurant that does this? Like, they give you the pager.
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden, yeah, Texas Roadhouse, whatever. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, you good. Okay,
Like
but well, that's what this is.
Your table's ready.
Yeah, well, no, that's what this is. It's a thing that lights up, and you know your patient is dying or you got a patient, okay? But either way, so they set this company out, okay? They bought this thing, okay? And they waited, and they waited. Oh, and they waited, okay? Then because of their human source intelligence, they flip people, they turn people, blah, blah, blah. And also because they have hacked their Apple iPhones and their Androids or whatever, okay? All right? They convinced Nasrallah, the Persian CEO, Nasrallah to send out in February, okay? This happened in February, where they're like, okay, we all got to go to these pages. So somebody in the Hezbollah network said, hey, look, we need to go low tech, which, by the way, is a thing in the military. You can't hack a low tech system, supposedly is the theory. In other words, who's going to hack a Commodore 64 computer that's not on a network? You can't do it. Who's going to hack, an Atari? Who's going to hack a Texas Instrument? Who's going to, you can't do it because it's 1970s, 1980s technology, and it's not on the network, and nobody knows the system. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so there is that thing in industrial anti-hacking. You store your super secret files on the Texas Instrument version, okay, or the Commodore 360. But that's beside. You guys still hear me? Am I still coming clear? Or am I like,
You're still fine. You're fine.
Okay. All right. So somehow someone in the Hezbollah organization who, well, maybe he was flipped and he didn't know it, or maybe he was just convinced because, I don't know, they send in a honeypot. Okay, they send a government that says, hey, I know Habibi. This guy, we can get you a good deal on these pagers. Oh, okay. Either way, they order the pagers from this company in February. Now, there is some discrepancy here. Okay, well, did they order it in February or did they receive them in February? Or start receiving them in February? Either way, these pagers, what they did, they run on alkali batteries, regular double A or triple A batteries that you get. You know what I mean? They're not hacking your pager or your cell phone to explode your lithium-ion battery. That's not what they're doing. Although I'm sure that probably could be done, but not with this. Not with this thing. Okay. So what they did was they took this pager and they put in a few grams or an ounce or two of some kind of synthetic or some kind of plastic explosive. Eric, as someone who's been in the military for some odd years that has worked with these kind of explosives, what would what would an ounce or two of this Syntec or PTE or whatever they're calling it do if you were held it up to your face? And it
I
went
don't
off.
even think about that. It could have blown your face off. Yeah.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you'd have a bad day.
And what would happen if you had it in your pants?
You would. You wouldn't be reproducing it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's another statement. Yeah.
Anyway. So they did this, and the pagers worked. That's another thing. They had to insert a code or a chip where the chip would only activate the detonator, okay, to detonate the C4 if it received a certain page from the certain cell phone, or the certain text message. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
and there was a delay. They put a delay in it. They put a 30 second to 1 minute delay. You can see it on the video. The dude gets the page. There's the one guy, he's buying food or something at the grocery store. And he gets the page and he puts the pager out. And he sets it on because he's got the page. And then he pulls it up and he looks at it. Boom. Chocolate.
But all you have to do is just give
suburbs and other.
all you have to do is just give the explosives an electrical charge, and that's enough to set it off. So
right, but the thing
anything
is,
from the battery would do it if they they actually put the circuit in the explosive, it would set it off.
Well, no. So that's the thing. Either way, they had to have the circuit. They had to have the electronics that actually just waited for the specific signal or the specific page, okay, and it had a delay. It had a 30-second to a minute delay. As you can see in that video, the dude actually sets the pager down on the counter and then picks it up and boom, shakalaka. Okay. But either way, so they had that all in there. So they distributed these pagers. But it wasn't just pagers. It was the walkie-talkies. It was car stereos. It was GPS devices.
I'm not intentionally laughing. It's just that these guys decided that they would get away with damaging someone that is, I mean, people that are considered God's chosen. And I don't want to say God had the last laugh with them, because I'm sure there's more to come. But you take, it was a choice. So, Eric, if you could put up the new Hezbollah communication. Oh, okay.
I will, Paul. Let me just, because, you know, when I like to look at what people are doing in the background on events, because, you know, everybody always focuses on like this right here. What are you going to focus on? You're going to focus on this guy, because this guy is the one that goes down. I mean, you look at, I mean, just boom, down he goes. But look what people are doing around him. Okay.
Well, that's not the moon, though.
When you back it up, okay, this guy is bagging him some stuff. This lady's got a little kid with her, and watch what this guy does. This guy right here. Watch. Boom. He runs. Now one of them, this guy's like, oh my goodness, look at the, I'm sorry. What is that, a piece of you laying on the ground right there? But there's another guy here. Look at this guy right here. He puts his fingers in his ears like it's gonna. Let me do this again. Boom. Okay, look at, he puts his fingers in his ears. He's like, oh no. He runs away. Mom, she's like, okay, you okay, honey? Let's. They all run away from this guy. Nobody is helping him. Nobody stops to help this poor guy. And he's
to be fair, Eric, if I was standing next to you,
laying there on the ground next to him, he's like, oh my gosh.
Well,
and
hold on,
but we're not the reason why I personally find humor in this. You don't ever find humor in people suffering. But every single one of these guys, every single last one of them was either a mid-level or high-level commander in a terrorist organization dedicated to destroying and murdering Jews. And to happen to them, to see this happen to them, to see them getting the comeuppance that they have lived their entire lives or dreamed of doing to Jews their entire lives. Yeah.
Well, Eric, there's a, hold on a minute. We just got.
What happened, Paul?
I don't know. I didn't do nothing. Anyway, well, continuing on with this, Eric. Well, he dropped out. He'll be back. So, Eric,
I'm clicking now.
Yeah, this is why we don't jam microchips into our brains. Just saying.
No, he just blew up. Eric, just to be fair, if I'm standing in the grocery store and somebody blows up next to me, I'm not sticking around, dude. I'm like, yeah, dude, somebody wanted you got, and they're gonna come back and get you.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
But no, to continue on with laughing at people suffering misery, I agree with you in content and point. But this is basically a football to the groin, dude. Everybody laughs at the football to the groin. Okay,
like,
football to the groin is called okay.
Movie where he throws the football and this guy's right in his groin. Like, what movie was that?
Football to the groin.
The Longest Yard. That's what it was.
Okay. Anyway, Paul, welcome back. Welcome back, Paul. We lost you. You're going to play something. What happened?
All right, Paul.
I noticed that Andrew Martin said apparently Israel has invaded Lebanon. Right. And if you go and check your news, that actually has happened today. They were readying for possible ground invasion. I'm seeing pictures. Israel has conducted raids in Lebanon, but a lot of this stuff that's more than 5 hours, as of 40 minutes ago, they were actually, I have a picture from New York Times. It looks like they did something.
Well, Well, Austin, that account I told you about, open source intelligence. I forgot the rest of it. But you can search that OIS and that. So, but it's anyway. If you search them and find them on Twitter, they actually announced that Israel started the invasion at 3 p.m. our time. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's ongoing right now as we speak. So basically, what they're supposedly going to do is they're going to push Hezbollah across that river, and they're going to be like, no, you don't set your stuff up. The Lebanese army is actually withdrawn. Okay, so Lebanese army is out of it. So basically, this is an eradication of Hezbollah. This is, let us say it, a genocide, an extermination of Hezbollah. They ain't playing around. They're getting them all. And, you know, and well, like I said, they've blown their total. They've actually they've blown their total intelligence organization, their total intelligence network over this. They had on Hezbollah.
I think what happened is that they executed 3 or 4 Israeli prisoners that they had, and that's why they're going after them again. I mean, full force. Did you guys read that?
Eric, can you put the picture up I just put up?
Yeah, go ahead.
It says breaking: Israel has started invading Lebanon. The time here was 3:24 p.m. when this was posted.
Our time?
Yeah, Eastern time. Eastern time. So yeah.
Eric, yes. How do I know that's true that they blew their total intelligence network? Because look at the level, the extensity of this, dude. They pulled out all the stuff. They pulled out all the stuff that they exposed. Okay, since 2015, a 10-year operation? You know what I mean? Okay, they've exposed all. I mean, and they're hitting everyone. They know exactly where everyone is. Oh, by the way, here's the funny thing. Do you guys know the story of how they got the Nasrallah guy? Okay, Bibi, Netanyahu comes to America. There's a picture of him. He's in the hotel room. He's all on the secure stuff. And they're like, we know where he's at. Oh, by the way, it wasn't just Nasrallah. It was the remaining senior level of Hezbollah.
Right.
Coming to me.
That, but go ahead.
Yeah, coming to me on what to do about this. Because they have no. Honestly, they have no structure anymore. They've been totally exposed and totally blown. They do not know who is who, what is what. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that Israel blew it in a bad way. I am saying Israel just totally boom. It's out there. We have you exposed. We know everything about you. We know your protocols. We know your backup protocols. We know everything about you. You can't escape us. It's done. Okay. Now then, so they're at this meeting, and everybody for in Mossad or the other organization, like, we have him. We know he's there. And Bibi or Netanyahu, whatever you want to call him, sends in the F-15, and they dropped over 85,000 tons of high explosives.
Right. Okay. That was they knew. That's what their intelligence was telling us. They knew that they had the entire leadership of Hezbollah, and what they were doing is they were gathered to watch. This is what I heard on the news, is that they were gathering together to hear that, to watch Netanyahu give that speech at the UN, and Netanyahu was supposedly going to provide the concessions to the Hamas holds for a ceasefire during the speech. That was the G2, or that was the intel that they had received, and this is why they were all excited to get together to listen to Netanyahu make this announcement. And that, as a matter of fact, the information that Netanyahu was going to provide that news that they were going to accept a ceasefire was evidently leaked by our State Department. So our State Department evidently got played by Netanyahu, which would be poetic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was what was reported. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what was reported. And if that is true, that's like sticking it right in the face of Biden. That screw you. You ain't gonna help us. You ain't gonna protect us. No problem, buddy. We got this.
Yeah, they let Scammala know, didn't they?
Well, that's what they're saying. Israel is no longer sharing any intelligence with the USA.
Would you?
And by the way, yeah, I wouldn't. USA said we're not sharing any intelligence with Mossad. I'm thinking, dude, you don't have any intelligence except for Mossad. So you know what? Whatever, Biden, you blew it.
Well, in all fairness, we do have some pretty significant intelligence gathering ability, and whether that is not it's not just electronic, satellite, and all of that nonsense. I'm sure we do have assets on the ground in Lebanon. I mean, we would be stupid, but then again, look who's in charge. But anyway.
Yeah, exactly right.
But if we do, but the thing about if I actually hope we don't, or I hope they got pulled out, because if we do, with Mossad and Israel doing this, they've blown everything. You know what I mean? Okay, so those assets that we have, they're now at risk. Oh, and by the way, here's another thing. By the way, in case you didn't know this, okay, United States government has said, are all American citizens get out of Israel, or get out of Lebanon as soon as possible. Take commercial flights. All commercial flights out of Lebanon have been canceled. The price to get out of Lebanon right now, okay, well, actually, this is like 2 or 3 days ago. The price to get this is from Ilhan Omar and Rashid Tlaib's Twitter account. Okay, the price to get out of Lebanon right now for an American citizen is $8,000. You know what the response? This is from Rashid Tlaib or Ilhan Omar when she actually, her constituents are saying, I want to leave. She sends it off, so they contact their congresswoman like they should, and the congresswoman contacts the State Department like, yeah, okay, those who are there, we'll give them a loan, but they got to pay us back at 3% interest for the $8,000 to get them out. Our own government is not evacuating our own people, but dude, they will sit there and move heaven and earth to evacuate 20, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 Haitians and move them to the United States of America for free and give them $5,000 food stamps.
Killing an additional 1,800 people and injuring thousands of others, as well as killing countless goats. CNN international news correspondent Kevin Brown.
Who's playing this?
Wait, who's playing this?
Sorry, it was me. I didn't mean to. Sorry.
Oh no,
Take a look.
The goats.
Wait, no, that's AI. That's AI.
Oh no,
that has to be AI. That has to be AI.
Well, they got the goats, man. That's all.
Watch out for those
it.
exploding goats. But the big one, I was trying to listen to
He
it.
posted this in chat. I think this was Andrew Martin posted this in chat here. And this is 5:30 Central Time. So this was 15 minutes ago, less than 15 minutes ago. It says Israeli oops. I got to share this, don't I? Come on, Kaffer. Get your act together. There we go. It says make it bigger, of course, so we can read this together. Israeli officials notified the U.S. that it planned to begin ground incursion into Lebanon. That would be limited in scope and scale and duration. Two U.S. officials tell NBC that the operation appears to have begun. So
we're going to do it, but it's already begun. I like that. I like that.
What's that now?
You can't. They say we're going to do it, but it's already begun because
right,
they can't trust the U.S.
An hour later, somebody prior to, especially. I don't. It's sad where you have to have a level of distrust now between the United States and Israel, as far as what type of operations or what type of intelligence that you're going to release to one another. It's the level of mistrust is the public mistrust anyway is pretty palpable. I don't know if they have things going on behind the scenes or what might be going on with that, but the public distrust between the United States and Israel is pretty sizable. Okay, let's see here. I was talking about Hania in Iran, and just to kind of, we haven't even gotten to Nasrallah yet, guys. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, When you look at what has happened in the past 60 days, what Israel has managed to do in the last 60 days, and Rad, you said that Israel has burned all of their intelligence assets on the ground.
No, I'm saying they've, well, okay, they're all in. I'm not saying burned, okay? That's maybe the wrong word. I'm saying they are all in, okay, with the intelligence network. In other words, the intelligence network that they developed over the past 20, 30 years at Hezbollah, okay, is now come to fruition. That's a better term. Come to fruition, okay? But by coming to fruition, think about it, when fruit falls off a tree and you eat it, in other words, you're eating the fruit now. It's now gone. That fruit is no longer there. So in other words, what's ever left over, they're going to have to reestablish and rebuild.
Okay. When you say reestablish, rebuild, okay. Let's just assume that this was it a Hungarian company that sold them the pagers? Am I right on that?
It was a German company. German.
Let's just assume, we're going to safely assume that Hezbollah will no longer be making any purchases from this German company. Let's just, stating the obvious here. Do you think for a second?
They got a great return policy. They got a great replacement policy.
Oh, okay. You know what? There's a on X. I'm going through some of these things that are actually up there. One is one says Hezbollah just released a statement claiming that all the pagers it bought from the Israeli shell company came with warranties. It asked Israel to respect the terms of the warranty.
Give you a refund. But the point I'm trying to make is that I don't believe for a second that this is the only.
No, what I'm saying is this.
The only angle that they've worked on this.
Okay.
The idea, you mentioned it last time, the idea of selling these jokers pagers and then blowing these pagers up.
Oh, that's the beauty of the thing. The operation paid for itself. Hezbollah paid for its own destruction.
Well, it's absolute genius. But I believe that they have other things going on. But what that alone did is that, number one, it destroyed their communications ability, the ability to communicate electronically. I mean, and if you think of how we communicate today, I mean, it's all electronics, even if it is just a simple landline. They have no confidence in their ability to do that now. And that's the key. When you remove the confidence of a combat commander to effectively communicate orders to their subordinates, you've destroyed that army, because that army is mission incapable. Or non-capable. You cannot operate and you got to do three things: shoot, move, communicate. If you cannot do one of those three things, you are non-mission capable. And if you cannot communicate, which these people are no longer capable of doing, they are out of the game. And until they figure out how to communicate and develop the confidence to communicate, this is the important part, develop the confidence to communicate effectively with their subordinate commanders, subordinate soldiers, or whatever, that army is toast. It is complete toast. Even if you think of all those missiles, I mean, this is when they destroyed those missiles. What was it? How many weeks ago was it that they destroyed all those missiles? Like at 5 o'clock in the morning, they had gotten word. The intelligence agency had gotten word that Hezbollah, in response to the death of Hania, was going to shoot thousands of missiles into Israel as a response. Israel got word that this was going to happen, scrambled their air force, and destroyed not the missiles themselves. That's the important thing that they destroyed was the missile launchers. Because you can have a missile sitting in your living room, but unless you have the ability to launch that missile, it does you no good. They destroyed the missile, almost the entirety of the Hezbollah missile launchers within 10 minutes. And that right there would completely destroy the confidence of anybody belonging to Hezbollah. And then you add that in with the the pager incident, the walkie-talkie incident.
Car stereos, TVs.
Yeah, last time we were on the show, I said that these guys are afraid to even plug in a flipping toaster today.
See, this is what Eric.
Paul showed.
Eric, multi-million dollar business. We sell directly to Hezbollah. Carrier pigeons.
It might work. And they would probably think that the pigeon was Jewish.
And Israel can put explosives in the carrier pigeon. I'm just
right there. You go. That Air Force that dropped rocks on that army, according to I think it was East or something. Anyway,
let me just fix this real quick. In this with this, okay? I'm just saying, okay. No, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they've got other shell companies out there ready to supply Hezbollah. But what I'm saying is they've blown the total concept of that. Not only that, but the procurement agent, whoever thought that this was a good idea to buy all their pages from this company, okay, has now been similarly executed or pulled out of. Well, hopefully, if he was a known agent, okay, in other words, he was doing this out on his own free will. Hopefully, Israel got him out before this because he's a dead man. If he was an unknown, like in other words, he just got convinced by his palmar, by his, sex slave, by his, whatever, okay, that this was a great company. Well, then he deserves it because he's stupid. But no, here's the thing: Hezbollah, if they do survive this, which I hope they don't, they will just, in their procurement of Western technology, of Kufar technology, they will just diversify. They'll buy from various sources, and they will open up those devices, and they will have to see for the explosives. That's what they will do. Okay? So in other words, they blew this angle, okay? And also, there are only things, how do they know Nasrallah's, all this stuff, like, for instance, the Iranian thing, when they hit that dude in Iran, okay, that exposed their intelligence network. They are that close, okay? They know exactly in Tehran, okay?
That was what I was pointing out. If you can go into a military installation,
right?
I was at an Iranian military installation, and not just any military installation. This was in Tehran. This is downtown. This is like the Hunger Games, going to the Capitol, President Snow's palace or whatever. Being able to get into his palace and kill this guy, that right there would. And this is what Israel is doing. They are sending these people a signal that should terrify them. The days of terrifying Israeli citizens dropping bombs at bus stops, running Israeli citizens over, attacking, those days are over. Those days are, if you're gonna be a terrorist and you're gonna act like some big shot commander of these terrorist units, you're the first one to go. Look what they did. Am I wrong on this? Didn't they take Nasrallah's replacement and kill him too?
Yeah, like 24 hours after
he was out
he
was out almost exactly 25 hours later. Yes.
Good night. Could you think about that? Could you imagine me sitting around the table of all these terrorists and saying, okay, we need a new leader. Are you going to volunteer? Are you going to volunteer? I'm committed to do that. No.
But see, no. So this is what I'm saying. This is a dual-edged sword. So what's this total exposure? What's this total thing of Israel doing with their intelligence asset, where they're saying we can hit you no matter what, where? Okay, we can do this. We know who you are, where you are, when you are. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're using. It doesn't matter if you go to pagers, carrier pigeons. Here's another idea. We sell them 2 tin cans and string. Okay, to communicate with each other. Okay,
Eric, can you pull up my carrier pigeon?
But no, here's the thing. So now you cause all this confusion within Hezbollah and Iran. Okay, so you cause all the confusion. So now they're trying to search who is the traitor? Who is this? Who is this? And yes, they will execute some innocent people. Some that have nothing. Well, they're innocent in the treachery. They're innocent in the betrayal. But again, you will cause a purge. But eventually, in other words, they will tell, like for instance, okay, we elect a new leader here, we're only going to tell 2 people where he's at. But one of the people we're going to lie to because he's not there. And then if they hit the place where he's not at, then we know that's the traitor. If they hit the person where he's at, because we can get some other stooge, it doesn't matter, then we know this is the traitor. I mean, that's what it will cause. They will eventually narrow it down to the human intelligence, where they will actually get to the bottom of it, who is talking to who. Okay? But either way, I mean, it's still brilliant. Don't get me wrong. But it is an all-in. I mean, dude, this is Texas Hold'em. They are all in now. They're all in right now to destroy Hezbollah, or to make it to where it's going to take them another 30 years where they will build it up, and Mossad and Israel intelligence will be right there with them, working with them for the next 20 years, and then they will hit them again. You see what I'm saying? Okay.
Okay, I got two things about what you said. You were talking about the guy that worked for Hezbollah that bought those pagers. Were you not?
Yeah, well, it could be a couple people too, but somebody had to make a decision where we're only going to one company. Okay.
Could you imagine? I mean, just think about that for a second. If you're the guy that made that decision and you didn't die in this attack or whatever, could you imagine the rest of your life going and interacting with these other guys that don't have any hands now or have their faces?
Okay, so that dude, so that dude, if he wasn't,
you're gonna be that dude. Like every time they see you now, you're that dude. He's got to walk around. He doesn't have any fingers on his hand.
Well, no, that's the thing. That's the thing. If he wasn't in other words, let's say he had an Israeli mistress. Well, he doesn't know it's an Israeli mistress, or
right.
He had someone, that was his underling that said, "Hey, look, this is a great company. I researched it on the internet. It came up on Google. They will ask no question. They will take Bitcoin and they will sell us pagers." Okay, and he says, "Yeah, okay, let's do that." Let's say he's totally innocent of the espionage. Okay, that dude is a dead man. It doesn't matter if he didn't know or didn't know. Let's put it.
Think. A bigger punishment would be to let this guy live and force him to continue to interact with all those people that got hurt. If he did not,
but that's not what's going to happen. They're going to be like, "You're gone, dude."
You're probably right. They probably often, there's a lot of people who are going to want some retribution.
Dude, I don't think there was answer page and my nads are gone, dude. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
You really pissed?
Okay. Now let's talk about this Nasrallah joker. He's been in power for what, 30 years? Well, not anymore, but he was anyway. He was in power for 30 years of running Hezbollah. And not only did they just blow him up with a bomb, my understanding is that the Israelis used more explosives on this guy than any other target, human target, prior to him. I might be wrong on this, but it seems like I was reading an article about the amount of payload that they dropped on this guy's head. They just wanted to make sure. And if you have all of your top Hezbollah operatives all meeting in the same place, and not only was that, they had also some Hamas leader. I have that written down. Hamas leader Fatah Sharif and his family. Oh, he wasn't with them though. This guy was killed in Tyre, Lebanon, along with his family. They figured out that he had blue eyes. Do you know why? This is a bad joke. Why were they blue? Anybody? All right. Well, one blew that way, one blew the other way. Anyway, that's a stupid joke.
Oh no, he didn't.
No, that was bad. It really was bad.
I swear.
Yeah.
I gotta say, let me jump in. Fatah by the way, just happens to mean eat it in Greek. So,
eat me. Okay. But there's another thing that happened today is the Houthis. We can't forget the Houthis, our little people who run around in boats down there in the Red Sea. They attacked Israel with a ballistic missile, was it? Or some type of missile, shot down in a pretty, I don't want to say it's inconsequential. Anytime you fire a missile at a country, a sovereign country, it's consequential. But I mean, it's Israel after all. So it's really not that big of a deal because everybody and their brother in the neighborhood's shooting at them. Israel hit a target in Yemen. And this is what's going to send a message that is further away than Tehran is from Israel. Israel hit a target in Yemen that is further away from Israel than what Tehran is from Israel. Just to let those mullahs in Tehran know, as Bibi said in his speech, Netanyahu said in his speech, there is no place in the Arab world that the long arm of Israel cannot reach out and touch you. And now he's providing proof of it. So when we start looking at the totality of what Israel is doing, this is causing a lot of fear. And this is exactly what these terrorists and these terrorist organizations understand is fear. They have spent their lifetimes trying to develop methodologies in order to instill fear in the general public to what? Bring about political change, religious change, things of this nature. Now they themselves are giving a lethal dose of fear to the point that the Iranian president or the Ayatollah has now been moved underground. That right there sends a signal, is a signal that what the Israelis are doing is working, and you are not going to see any type of substantial response from the Iranians anytime soon, or at least we shouldn't. And if we do, what are they going to do? I mean, it might just be just like last time where they launched 300 missiles, rockets, drones, or whatever they were at the Israelis, and every single one or exception of one or two, are shot down. It's this is truly a demonstration of what happens when you spend your entire life hating another group of people, spending your entire fortunes. I mean, think of the billions of dollars that Iran has invested into these groups like Hamas, like Hezbollah, like the Houthis, to sow discord, not only within their own countries, but also stoke the flames of hatred towards the Jews, and to ignore their own personal sufferings that are going along with it. Think about what would have happened if they would have used that money, those billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars, and invested it in educating their people, infrastructure within their own countries for the betterment of their people. Think of the happiness that could exist in countries like Iran, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Yemen. Think of what would happen instead of spending the all of those petrodollars that have been pouring into the coffers of these ayatollahs in the last 3.5 years, because of the Bite Me administration not enforcing the sanctions that we have on Iran. Think of what would be different if they would use them for something other than their hatred. And then think about how deep that hatred has to be in order to completely ignore the suffering. People are starving, literally starving in Yemen. Muslim children.
We have a video of that, dude. We have a video of what Gaza can be. Gaza can be, if you go to our brand, right? We have a video of what.
Come visit beautiful Gaza.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Come visit beautiful Gaza. With its stunning beaches and charming boardwalks, you can stay in one of our 5-star hotels and get a taste of the best in Middle Eastern food. Embrace the vibrant nightlife of the city and experience a culture rich in tradition that this is what Gaza could have been like without Hamas.
I will choose the cow.
Well, no.
She was 9 years old. She was 9 years old.
All right, sorry.
Okay, no problem. But think about that. Okay?
I love that one.
But think about that. Look at, dude, Tel Aviv. It's just 20 miles away up the coast. If that, from Gaza City. Tel Aviv is a thriving Mediterranean paradise, party city, great coastline, great views. Take your wife there, take your girlfriend there, take whatever there, your family there. It is a great place. You know what I mean? Kick back on some of the most beautiful beaches. Okay?
You're finished.
Right? Okay? But look what they did, and they could have had that in Gazastan. They could have had that. They could have had an international port. They could have competed with Tel Aviv, because Tel Aviv and Hebron, I said Hebron, yeah, they could have competed with them, okay, for international ports of entry. They could have competed with there's actually oil fields out there. They could have competed with them for that, okay? But instead, no. They chose this crap. There's a thing, I posted this, okay. So the hospital in Israel, I forgot which hospital it was, northern Israel, okay? When all this started happening like last week, they announced that it took them a couple days, but they evacuated all their patients and staff to their underground bunker, and they showed video and pictures of it. It's basically a regular hospital, but only 100 feet underground. Okay.
Who did this again?
Israel. So I forgot what city it is. I'd have to look it up, and I'll have to get back to you on this. But whatever it was, it's one of the northern cities. Okay. That are directly, not Tel Aviv, but are directly affected, okay, by Hezbollah rocket attacks, okay? Well, maybe it was Tel Aviv, but either way, they evacuated their entire staff and patients, okay, to this underground bunker that they have underneath the hospital. And it looks just like the regular hospital, okay, except it's underground. There's no windows, right? And it's like 150, 200 feet underground. Now think about this. This is what Israel does to protect its civilian population, protect its hospital patients. They build a bunker underground to protect them. What does Hamas do or Hezbollah do? They build a tunnel underneath the hospital to protect them and fire rockets and launch attacks from underneath the hospital. Do you see the difference, people? Well, we all see the difference. But, I mean, I'm sorry, we are not the same, people. We are not the same. Okay?
Well, this is what there's a saying, and I might mess this up, but it's where the Hamas holes use women and children to protect their missiles, and the Israelis use missiles to protect their women and children.
Exactly.
And this is the same thing. They're using their money to build these tunnels, these dungeons, these layers underneath the, what is that, Sharon? Oh, this is a suicide bomber. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't fit. Okay, I'm sorry.
But when you invest that amount, when we start talking about the amount of money that the United States, UNRWA, the UN has invested into Gaza, it's absolutely sick. And then when you look at the net worth of the Hamas leaders, they're worth billions of dollars. So they're not only grifting the money away from the people of Gaza, but they're not using it to better their lives. And this is what we're talking about. They use this ideology of Islam to attack Jews. Somebody posted something in here. Oh, here it is. I think Elizabeth sent me this. It was camera.org. This is an article about Nasrallah in his own words. Did you send this to me, Elizabeth? You're the one that posted this in chat? I think you were. I might be wrong.
You're finished.
Let me bring this article up. Here's some quotes from Hassan Nasrallah. Let me make it bigger so y'all can read this. There we go. Is that big enough?
All that.
There we go. Okay. Ever since I was 9, I had plans for the day I would start doing this. When I was 10 or 11, I would say that I'm a cleric. You need to pray behind me. If the Jews all gather in Israel, it would save us the trouble of going after them worldwide. Now, this is, if anybody's afraid, or, not afraid, but wondering what type of guy this Nasrallah guy was. These are some of his comments. Nasrallah was the leader of Hezbollah, bombed the Israeli embassy in Buenos Aires, killing 29, injuring over 200. And then there was another one where they killed 86 and injuring over another 200. He said, if we search the entire world for a person more cowardly, despicable, weak, and feeble in psyche, mind, ideology, and religion, we would not find anyone like the Jew. Notice I do not say the Israeli. So he's including not only all of the Jews in Israel, but also Jews worldwide. But I mean, think about more cowardly, weak, feeble in psyche. Dude, I mean, you think about that. Weak in psyche. These guys just planted Semtex in your flipping pager and blew the nuts off of half of the people that work for you, dude. What kind of person makes this kind? This is the Islamic hubris, the Islamic machoism, where they have to show everybody that they're strong. You're a flipping retard, and you know why you're a retard? It's because you don't spend money educating the people around you. And that I'm sorry, but I shouldn't. I don't mean to be so crass, but doggone. This reading this crap. Oh, people are beloved and our dear brothers. This is in 2000 in Palestine. Oops, I didn't have this up on the screen, did I?
You're finished.
Read that. Are you guys able? Did I have that up on the screen where you could read that? Oh, people are beloved, our dear brothers in Palestine. I want to tell you that this Israel, which possesses nuclear weapons and the most powerful air force in the region, by God, is weaker than a spider web. Really? How's that working out for you? How's that Israeli Air Force working out there, Mr. Hassan? Of the central reasons for creating Hezbollah was to challenge the Zionist program in the region. Hezbollah still preserves this principle. And when an Egyptian journalist visited me after the liberation and asked if the destruction of Israel and the liberation of Palestine and Jerusalem were Hezbollah's goals, I replied, this is the principal objective of Hezbollah. And it is no less sacred than our ultimate goal. The generation that lived through this creation, is entirely of this entity is still alive. This generation watches documentaries and reads documents that show that the land conquered was called Palestine, not Israel. Again, you are a historical illiterate. We face an entity that conquered the land of another people, drove them out of the land, and committed horrendous massacres. Boy, that sounds like what Muslims did to all of North Africa, all of Persia, clear into the Hindu. Yeah, it sounds like exactly like that. And we see this is an illegal state. It is a cancerous entity and the root of all crises and wars that cannot be a factor in bringing about true and just peace in the region. Therefore, we cannot acknowledge the existence of the state called Israel, not even in far in the future, as some people have tried to suggest. Time does not cancel the legitimacy of the Palestinian claim. So this guy and Hezbollah, as the leader of Hezbollah, is committed to the complete destruction of Israel.
And we know what Islamic justice means.
What did you say, Ed? Islamic justice?
Yes, we know what Islamic justice means. Every time they use that word, we know what they mean.
Head chopping, stoning, decapitation.
Yeah.
Severing arms. Yeah, it's a great time.
As a matter of fact,
don't forget rape and sexual assault.
And
doesn't matter what.
You're finished.
Yeah.
You're finished. Wallahi, you're finished.
Where is that coming? Was coming from our? Was that you?
That was.
You're finished. You're finished. Academic weasel, fraud. You're a fraud. You're a fraud.
What
Talk
do you
about
do?
fraud. He knows nothing.
Boy.
Oh, what we're going to do about this? Rad, what was this thing again?
What thing?
I can get the full video if you want.
Yeah, get the full. That's what I was going to ask you, Paul. Get the full video. That's the.
Okay, I'll be right back. All right.
Okay, we're going to be winding down here, folks. Who's talking? What is that? What was that?
I'm always talking. You
No,
hear me? I'm talking. But no, yeah, no. I thought it had sound, so it doesn't work out too well without the sound.
Doesn't
I have it with sound.
I don't know. I think it's a good meme.
Yeah, I mean, it's
all right. Well, no. Wait
it's
till
it's not as good as
I would choose the cow.
It's nowhere near as good as that one.
Yeah, Paul's got to play it with the sound. I'm just
Okay, where are you, Paul? I don't see it. You got to share your stream.
I gotta find it and put it back up. I had it a few minutes ago.
Okay. This article here that Victoria posted in chat. Victoria, are you the one? Is she still here? Elizabeth Victoria. This article that I had brought up here is from Let me see if I can get this up on the screen. No, I can't. I have it full screen. Let me do this. No, that doesn't do it. Oh, maybe I got it too big here. Sorry. No, it's still not. Why can't we see the URL? All right, I'm going to post the URL once again into chat. And if you want to go and read that, it is very, very informative. Okay, Paul, here we go.
If you talk to psychiatrists or people who actually read body language, they could tell you that it's out of control.
Marwa, so sorry to interrupt. We do now have official confirmation from the Hezbollah group of the death of Hassan Nasrallah. What's your response, please? I'm so sorry. Let's end the interview there. We were talking to Marwa Osman, journalist and TV show host. Clearly,
the issue here was they were interviewing somebody they knew was part of Hezbollah. They knew was in love with killing Jews, and they were expecting something better.
And others, Jews and others.
Yeah.
Now, Paul, real quick, okay. Do you have the other one where the woman goes off and talks about sacrificing her children to bring back Nasrallah? Now
Let me see if I can find that.
Yeah. So that
might
one
be on the same stream.
Yeah. So that one was funny, because just dude, they believe this man is a god. The other woman, who actually says the other one that even though they know he's dead, they say no. He's not dead. He's an immortal. This is Shia doctrine. They really believe it. Okay. No, this is Shia doctrine. They believe in this hidden 12th Imam. So some of them actually believe that this Nasrallah is the hidden 12th Imam. Do you know about the 12th Imam?
Yeah, that's laughable. But yeah, I've heard the doctrine.
Laughable. Of course, it's laughable, but they believe it. Okay. So Eric doesn't know. Do you know about the 12th Imam?
Are you asking me or Ed?
I'm asking you, Eric. Do you know about the 12th Imam?
12th Imam to the Mahdi? That's yeah. This is, and you actually have 12ers and 5ers and 10ers, whatever they are. Yeah, and he's supposed to crawl out a well in somewhere in Iran.
No. The 12th Imam, okay, is not the Mahdi. The 12th Imam will welcome in the Mahdi. The 12th Imam is some dude that was killed in, I think let's say the 9th or 10th century. He has a name. He has an actual name, okay, who was killed, but he is in oscillation. Actually, they invented a word for it. They call it oscillation or occultation, okay, where he is in a semi-state of being alive nor not alive. He's like in Schrodinger's box. He is the cat in Schrodinger's box. Okay, you put the cat in the box. You don't know if it's alive or dead until you open the box. Okay, but no, he is somewhere in the Schrodinger box. But he will return, and he will introduce the Mahdi. And they actually that this thing is.
Okay. I know. Hold on.
He's not a man. He's a holy half-dead.
Yes, exactly. He's in a special place. They don't know what special place.
It's kind of like a forerunner, like John the Baptist was. Is that
pretty much? Yeah, but except that John the Baptist actually died and got his head chopped off. They believe that this dude didn't die, but he's taken to a special place.
Okay, who's the guy that's going to crawl out of the well? Who's this guy? That's the Mahdi.
I never heard about a guy crawling out of the well.
Oh no! It's
protruding suborbital ridges, small cranium, 1300 cc brain. Neanderthal man.
Is that me or
No.
That's Nico? Yeah.
No, it's not me. Not that one.
That was Ed.
I'm sorry, Nico. I didn't mean to blame you for that.
No worries. I gotta wonder, are they stuffing coffin? I mean, this is coming from CP. This is his favorite go-to. But are they stuffing cotton in his anus when he died, or is that not necessary? Sorry, that's a CP thing.
Yeah. I don't want. Even if they are, I don't want to know about that. That's the kind of things that.
That's an Islamist
I think
thing.
the problem there is they have to go find it.
Well, in Iran, I want to figure out who is this forbidden. Let's see here. Going to the mountain. What is this? Coming out of the well. Maybe Islam Messiah. Who's coming out of the well? Let's see. According to this prophecy, lunar and solar eclipse, Advent.
I never heard of anybody coming out of the well, unless you're talking about the movie Rings, with the girl who never sleeps. That comes.
Oh, somebody's got to help me out here. Let's see here. Well, W-E-L. State as well with regard. No. A lot of them, as well as the truth, in this world, as well as in the next world. No. Now, what is, my goodness. Sign of the upcoming, who's crawling is the bad word.
I might know who it is.
You've no idea who I am, have you?
Yes, you're Rrrummm-ble.
I'm doing a series on Eddie Murphy, just so it happens.
Okay, climbing out of the well. Climbing. You guys have never heard of this?
Never heard of this.
No. It's not ringing a bell.
No, hold on. You might be confusing the Well of Tears or the Well of Sorrows, where Aisha cried at the well before the Battle of the Camel. You might be confused with that.
No. In Islam.
But either way, Shia Islam, if you get into it, it gets really into occultish stuff and really into this weird. No, they actually believe Ali is God. They believe that he is God. That Ali is actually not just the replacement of Muhammad, but that he is actually Allah incarnate. I actually believe this. Shia also believe that their patron saints, their 12 imams, or their 11 imams, or their 7 imams, or how many imams they have, are also incarnate. They're also divine, or have divine attributes. No, the Sunni, they also worship at graves. Okay. Oh no, dude. Here's the funny thing. Can you guys hear me? Because I take out my earbud.
Yep. No, you're good.
Okay, I'm good. Okay. So here's a funny thing. So during Ashura, where they whip themselves into a frenzy, here's kind of the funny part of that. After Ebola, there are all kinds of videos. Okay, so Ashura, where they whip themselves, they flagellate themselves. Okay, they cut themselves with razor blades and whips and flint. Okay, that they put in the whips. I mean, no, it is a bloody ceremony. This is to commemorate, okay, the death of Hussein, the grandson of the Prophet, who was executed by other Muslims and had his head chopped off. Go figure. How does that happen? But either way, okay. But no, this whole Ashura festival, and they put on plays, okay, all right, where they have, okay, the dude that cuts off the head, the actor he's a Shia actor that cuts off the head in the play of Hussein actually dies, literally. The crowd
You're not thinking
erupts
of
and kills him.
the Dajjal, are you?
No, not the Dajjal. No. This is the Ashura plays. Look this up. Ashura plays. This is how the sectarian violence erupts. No,
that was for Eric. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, no.
What did you say? I'm reading this over here. I'm sorry.
You weren't thinking of the Dajjal, were you?
No, I found it. I'm going to let Red go on, but I found what I was looking for.
Well, let me just continue with this. But here's what's funny. Look, Google. Well, if you can still find it, I'm sure you can. But YouTube or Google Ashura celebrations. Okay. Before Ebola, whatever that was, and it is a bloody mess. They actually cut the foreheads of 1-year-olds. Okay. Literally to shed blood. Okay. And then after blood, they whip themselves into a frenzy. Okay, with whips that are actually flagellants. They actually whip themselves into a frenzy and with whips that have flint in them or razor blades. They cut their chest. When they're slapping their chest, they have razor blades in their hand that are cutting their chest. They're just flicking this blood all over the place. But then Ebola comes around, and that's like a total bloodborne disease. They're like, yeah, we can't do this no more. So now, no more. But you see these old timers in the videos coming out of England today, and they got all the scars on their bodies from this flagellance that they're doing. Okay, but there's no more blood. It's just red skin because they're spanking themselves. But either way, this is what these Shia believe, dude. And they are totally hated and despised by the Sunni. Period.
Hey,
Okay,
Brad,
video of that I can share if you want.
Brad, hey, is it the Al-Mahdi that's supposed to come back? Because it says that he's supposed to lead the forces shortly before Judgment Day.
Well, no, so that's the thing. No. So in Shia Islam, okay, it's the 12th Imam who actually introduces the Mahdi. Okay, but the 12th Imam is actually divine, a divine character. Okay, that introduces this Mahdi who is also quasi-divine, a demigod, if you will. Okay, all right, okay. In Sunnism, that's not the case. There's no 12th Imam who introduced the Mahdi. As a matter of fact, honestly, there are cases, you can look this up, where actually in modern cases, especially in Palestine or in Gaza, where some nutcase comes up and says, I am the Mahdi, and the Hamas or Hezbollah guy shoots him in the leg. And says, literally shoots him in the leg and says, well, if you were the Mahdi, I could not shoot you in the leg. I mean, that is the test. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, the Mahdi cannot be killed. The Mahdi cannot be harmed. So that is the ultimate test. Because there are plenty of people that come up and say, I'm the Mahdi. Well, they get beat up. They get shot. They get killed. Okay? They get stabbed. Okay? You cannot be the Mahdi because the Mahdi cannot be killed or harmed. And then somehow they have Jesus Christ coming in, who's going to, after the Mahdi will introduce Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ will judge the world.
Break the car, kill the pigs.
Yeah. But then Muhammad will come up and introduce the Quran, and the Quran will judge mankind. You know what I mean? They honestly have no eschatology. No, they have, dude. It is just totally bizarre, dude. Seriously, if you get into a study on Islam, Sunni or Shia eschatology, you will be like, my brain hurts. This is worse than.
All right, I have an answer for what I was talking about earlier, and then we're gonna cut it for the night. Okay, so it dealt with the 12th Imam, Brad. It dealt with the Mahdi. This is according to the Shia belief. The 12th Imam, Muhammad al-Mahdi, went into that word that you use, occultation, in the 9th century, and is believed to be in a hidden state of existence. He is said to be alive, concealed by God. The idea of the well comes from a specific tradition where some believe that the Imam al-Mahdi went into hiding in a well in the city of Samarra in Iraq. So this is where I thought that he was going to appear out of this well. But anyway,
Okay, so
that's a tradition. That is a tradition. It's not evidently. I mean, it's like, the difference between the Lutheran position on consubstantiation versus the Baptist tradition, where it's just just a tradition, is all it is.
No, this is they will kill you over. Okay, and besides, I know my Shia Islam because I dated the Shia girl. She was the second woman to break my heart. She really did break my heart. Okay. But last I heard, she was making tons of money working for the State Department in Iraq. Who knows if she's alive or dead? I hope she's alive. But she was making that.
Probably covering her hair, I believe. That can be a sure bet. Okay, so tonight we talked about Hezbollah and the Israeli literally terrorizing them. Now, whether or not you think that's right or wrong, I think if you're going to be a terrorist and you get terrorized, we might call that justice. If you are a murderer and you are murdered in the course of carrying out one of your murders, you have no room to complain. It isn't that we relish the thought of people being killed, but sometimes you just step back and say, you know what, good for Israel, bringing justice to them. And this is what's happened with Nasrallah and his replacement within 24 hours. But I'm sorry, that's not funny. Within 24 hours of blowed up,
The replacement now has a replacement, which I'm sure if he's alive today is a Mossad agent. Okay, I'm just saying.
He just might be.
No. They announced it. Like, I don't know. Like, I woke up and checked Twitter. I checked the Mossad account, Mossad and the Hezbollah account, and I checked, and they announced, when I woke up that they now have a replacement for the replacement. I forgot his name, but I'm like,
probably Ehud Finkelman. They're like, he's
sorry.
Mohammed Bordstein.
Somebody named Goldstein's in charge of it now.
No, Eric, this is what I'm saying. This is not just one operation, intelligence operation. This is multiple operations that they're wrapping up. That they're saying, boom, we've exposed you. We've got you. And now there is going to be a purge within Hezbollah where if they survive, they're going to clean house and they're going to kill people who may be involved.
I don't see how you come. Al Qaeda came back from what happened to them. ISIS has been so they're gonna, but they're not gonna be. I don't think that they're gonna be able to wage the same type of.
Exactly. That's the thing. You take away.
Yeah.
You can't take away their ability to hate and wage war, but you can take away their ability to wage the war. Okay.
Well, I think they have. I mean, you've again, shoot, move, communicate. Those are three things essential for any army in order to be effective. And you cannot communicate, you're done. Stick a fork in. You're done.
I mean, look at Lebanon. They hate Hezbollah. They want Hezbollah out. The Lebanese army. We're done with this. We're not going to back them.
This might.
There are videos. Oh, I wish I could show you where. No, there are videos where these Hezbollah agents, they're being kicked out. They're being beaten up. Like, you cannot hide here by Sunnis, by even Shias. They're like, no, we do not want you.
Well, this is. Let's just hope that this is the difference between Gaza and Lebanon. Let's hope that there's enough Lebanese there that are able to stand up to this death hold that this terrorist organization has had on them, and they're able to rise up and throw them off. Let's just hope that they can do that internally instead of having the Israelis come in and clean house.
And let's just hope Israel doesn't screw this up. This opportunity that they do not screw this up, like they screwed up in the 1990s, okay, and before, okay. Let us hope that honestly, okay, because they did this. Israel gave the green light, okay, to massacre a Maronite village, multiple, not just a village, but a suburb or an enclave, where they actually allowed, okay, their Muslim position to massacre this Masorite, okay, Christian community that turned the Christians against them. Okay, for some reason they allowed it to happen. They did this, okay, and let us hope that they do not pull out and reward Hezbollah. Okay, and that's another thing that they did in the 1990s, late 1990s, 1997, 1998. But either way, we can get in deeper discussion on this. Okay, because no, Israel blew key opportunities multiple times, and a lot of people died. Okay, because of their blunders. Like the 200 and something Marines that died in Lebanon. Okay, that was an Israeli screw up. Okay, all right. You see what I'm saying? I mean, no.
All right, I'm going to go to a cold close.
All right.
And close the show. I don't know if it seemed like you're going down a rabbit hole and conspiracy theories and all this, that, and the other. Lebanon's just it's a shithole. It's been turned into a shithole by this civil war, this Islamic inspired civil war. And look, we're closing it out.
All right.
And let's just hope it's really straighten it out. Nico, what were you going to say?
Forgive me. Can I just share just to that point? It just so happens 2 minutes video quickly. It just YouBoob kind of gave me hell for this video, just so you'll know. But I appealed it, calling them communist pagans, so that didn't go too well. But then they allowed me to repost it, so it should be okay. But since it's the end, I would imagine it's okay to show it and then just clip it if something happens. Is that cool?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, cool. Thanks. All right, so again, this is this was.
You can call me naive, but I felt it was unbelievable. I felt it's a message from God saying, I will be by you, I will be by your side, we will rise up. My name is Father Yuir Nassif. I am a priest. And
Okay, yeah, and that's basically another bombing from a different church in Beirut in Lebanon. And this is something that we all know here that's been going on for a long time, but it doesn't, you know, it gets swept under the carpet for some reason. And I also have video of the thing you were talking about before about the self-mutilation, if you want, from Reuters.
Brother, wait, is that Israel bombing churches or Hezbollah bombing churches?
I mean, either way, it's like Christians getting massacred. So
because that's another thing. Israel has hit churches either by mistake or by design. Actually, Steve talks about. I remember multiple streams ago back last year, where because he's involved in that community, where an old woman just lost it in Gaza in a church because they were hunkered down for so long and she just wanted to go out for a walk and she got killed by a sniper. Well, they wounded her leg, and I told Steve, I'm like, dude, I am not happy with this. He's like, no, brother, she's with the Lord. I'm like, no, brother. They hit this woman, maimed her, and nobody used her as bait.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I have a best friend who's completely disappeared, who's Palestinian Christian. I have a best friend who's Palestinian Christian. He's completely disappeared. I mean, after October 7th, he communicated with me twice, him and his daughter, but they both disappeared. So, I mean, it's a personal topic to me, and I feel Steve's pain too. I mean, it's tragic. I'm not excusing Israel for sure. Believe me, if you see any of my work, you know where I stand on that. But yeah, I mean, it kills me that there's just so much. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, Israel too, but I mean, Islam for some reason is portrayed, as we keep saying here, as something that, you know, is the religion of peace and all these things, when this stuff has been going on for centuries upon centuries upon centuries. It's not a 2024, 2023 thing.
No, they're not a religion of peace by any stretch of the imagination. They are the religion of Satan. Bottom line, they follow Satan, and you heard me say it right here.
That's, yeah, call it what it is.
Or Eric, he wants to go. Well, no, let me ask you this, Eric. Okay, I can't do it now, but maybe in the coming future, we do. Okay, you do your show, and then I take over when you got to go do your stuff because you got to do your thing.
Is that not Islamophobia at its finest?
After dark.
Is that not Islamophobia at its finest?
Jeremy, Eric?
This devil, Robert Wales.
Hello,
this
Eric,
devil.
No, you're breaking up. I do have video of the self-flagellation from Reuters. If you want to show that,
I want to cut the show. I wanted to cut the show
all right.
ago. So
thanks for all that you do.
Yeah. All right.
Eric, did you hear me?
I did hear you.
Well, Eric,
yeah.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Talk about it offline. We'll talk about it offline.
Think about it. All right, brother. Play the close.
I'm going to get you cold close. You closed out, and you didn't play the cold close last time.
Yeah, I forgot.
So this idea of you hosting anything is just unconscionable. All right, everybody, thank you for coming. We will see you next Monday on the Cross and Crescent discussion group. Everybody that was on the panel, thank you so much for your contributions and chiming in, bringing your opinions and your thoughts and your facts. And people in the chat, also, you are cherished. We'll see you all next week.
Advanced student and specialist, that the standard narrative has holes. That's what
that the Muslims were rioting against one another. And as much as we don't want to face the fact, the Muslims were lying sometimes. They were fabricating, they were embellishing, and that might be hard to accept, but that is a reality.